Hello guys, welcome back to Miss Sugar Love Craft. And as I'm here waiting for my Roland to arrive by the end of the month, I decided let's play around and try to make sure my Corel Draw X6 is working properly to be able to create cut lines. Now I'm also going to integrate Cricut only because a lot of my files are saved in Cricut as well, and I just wanted to show you how you could bring over some of your files from Cricut into the Corel Draw and create your cut lines to be able to then transfer to VersaWorks to be able to cut on your Roland. So if you want to learn, stay tuned. Okay guys, so now I'm in Corel Draw, and of course you can import whatever PNG you want from your save files. You can do that, but what I wanted to show you is if you've imported something and created something in Cricut Design Space, like a print and cut file, you'll be able to import it into your Corel Draw to be able to create your cut lines, to import it into VersaWorks to be able to print on your Roland. So let's go ahead and choose a file. So we go to import. Everything guys that you save on your Cricut, it's saved in your Cricut canvas, is saved on your computer. So let's go ahead and show you how to do that. So you're going to go to your PC and you're going to go to your Windows, your C drive. You're going to open that, you're going to go to user, and then you're going to go to your main administrator file. From there you're going to click Cricut Design Space. Then from there you're going to go to your local data and you're going to click on your last folder. Of course you'll be able to see all the other folders from there, but we're just going to click on the last folder. Then you could click on canvases because we saved it into canvas. So the last thing I saved was at 750. We will click on that and then we will click on preview. Once we click on preview, this will pop up. You will just drag and drop it. Okay, I'm going to do two different files just because I want to show you the difference. So that's one of the files that I'm going to work with. Let's go ahead and import another file, and that file, this other file that I'm going to work with is right here. It's the cutie pie. Drag and drop that as well. Now you could zoom in, zoom out, whatever you want to do. So alright, now that we have both files, I'm going to go ahead and let's do this first one. Alright, so you select the object, and what we're going to do, we're going to create a quick vector file by doing a quick trace. So once we do a quick trace, it creates two different images. One that's a vector and one that is the PNG that I brought over. So what I'm going to do is I am going to move, we're going to separate them, and we're going to take, it might not pull right away, but you can see sometimes it gives a little bit of issues. So let me try to pull that away. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we pull that away. Yeah, you might have to take, go at it a little slow. So we pull that away, and remember this is your original image. So what we're going to do with the second image, we're going to go back and we're going to highlight the second image. And once we highlight the second image, we're going to go to arrange and we're going to go to ungroup. Once we ungroup that, as you see, it still looked like, you know, it had a bunch of nodes on it. And so you're going to highlight again. And once you highlight that, you're going to go back up to arrange and you're going to go to shape in. And once you go to shape in, you're going to go to boundaries. When you go to boundaries, as you see, it creates an outline on the outer edge. What you have to make sure is, though, you make sure you have to select the whole entire image. And that's what I'm looking at, to make sure I select the whole entire image. Because if not, then you're going to have little pieces that's going to not be selected. So now I created an outline. Now what I could then do is I could delete this area. I could delete that. Oops. I no longer need this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Then I am going to click on this outline. I'm going to go over to the right here and I am going to right click on the object just so I could create my cut line. Okay. Of course, before you do this, you have to create your cut line and save that to be able to do what I just did. Okay, what you can do is you could bring this over to, arrange it on top of it, and you know, if you don't get it perfect, you could use the up and down arrow key to kind of line it up. But let's kind of zoom in a little bit so that you could see it. Let's make this about 100. Now we zoomed in. Oops, here we go. I like to show you when I make a little bit of mess up. But so we zoomed in a little bit, and let's see, does it look like, it looked like it's fine. It looked like the cut lines are arranged perfectly. Don't look like we need to move it down any, but if you feel like it, you just click on the outline and move it down, and you know, as close as possible. So there you go. So, and then from there, what you would do is go back to file and you would click export, and this is now for you to be able to take it over into VersaWorks. So you create export, and I'm gonna type in Little Cane just to save it. Just name the file, and of course this file got to be a EPS file, so an EPS file, and then you would export. Once you export the file, everything here stays the same. Now, if this is your first time doing it, the trace background will not be checked, so make sure it's checked, but everything else stays the same, and you hit OK. Once you hit OK, then you'll be able to go over into your Versa software and import this image. Okay, so let's move him to the side. Let's do something that's a little bit more, has a little bit more to it. Okay, so let's bring this young lady over here, the woman of romance. So we're gonna bring this young lady over here, and let's go ahead, and I want to show you something just so you could see. I'm just going to create a box around here, and I am just going to, if I left click on this contour line, this is what's going to happen. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it backwards, because I want to show you that this file that I brought is actually, let's see, see, it's pretty much, there's no white background behind it. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this back. Okay, so here we go. So once again, what we're going to do, we got to vectorize this file, right? So we're going to highlight it, and when we highlight it, we're going to right click just so we could do a quick trace. Once we do a quick trace, as you can see it right there, just wait for a few seconds just to make sure, because as you see, everything is just jumping all over the place. And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes when I'm doing this file, I realize, so sometimes it will give you some issues when you're trying to pull them apart. Just find a solid area. So I'm going to find a solid area right here, and I'm just going to click on that to pull it apart. If not, let's just go back. If you try to just grab any area of this picture, this is what could happen. Let's see, let me show you. I'm just trying to show you something, just if you know, it's a mess up. As you can see, I try to drag it, it twisted a little bit. Now I'm gonna have to turn it. If you let's show you another mistake that could happen. Once you click in it and you're dragging it, just try to click in one of the solid area. Don't try to click on any of the lines that are flickering. So now that we pull it apart, right, and we're gonna grab the PNG and we're gonna put it to the side. Okay, let's just pull that to the side and leave it over there. So now remember, all we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to this picture and we're gonna highlight this picture. I may have to move my little king down a little bit, so let's just move him down a little bit, just so I can show you. Let's move her up a little bit. Alright, so all you have to do is go ahead and highlight her. Once you highlight her, you could then go back up to arrange. When you go to arrange, you're gonna hit ungroup. Once everything is on group, you're gonna wait, and then you're gonna highlight her again. And once you highlight her again, you're gonna go back up to arrange, and this time in arrange you're gonna look for shaping. Go to shaping and you're gonna hit boundaries. Like I said, make sure you highlight everything, because if not, you'll have little pieces that's hanging out. Now that we've done that, we've pulled that apart, then now I could then remove this picture in the background because I no longer need it, right? So let's take this outline and let's bring it over here just for now, just so I can remove this image because I no longer need the vector image. So then we just delete that. Oops. Alright, now that we've deleted the vector image, we're just going to bring back over this image that we're going to use in this one. And then, once again, you're going to right click, you're going to highlight this image. Once you highlight this image, you're going to go back over to your contour line. If you left click, it's going to not create a cut line, okay? So we don't want to do left click. So let's bring that out. You're going to right click, okay, on your contour line, right click. So now it's a pink line. So once you drag your picture into it, you could see the outline. You could, you know, guide yourself a little bit to get there. Then what you can do is just highlight the whole thing. Just highlight the whole thing here, and we're just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Let's do 100. Oops. No, that's not what we want to do. Let's do 120, only because I want you to see the contour cut line. So let's bring it over to the center of the page a little bit. Let's bring it over to the center of the page. Let's bring her over here, and she's right there. You could try to freely do it. I think I did a good job by freely doing it. If not, like I said, you could use your up and so look at the bottom. See that? You could use your down arrow, up arrow to bring it as close as possible to make sure that the outline is done properly. And I think, let's see, move it a little bit more. I think that's pretty close. And yeah, and that's it. And once again, you would just go back up to File, Export, and you know, Roman's woman. I saved it already. So remember, like I said, it's an EPS file. Okay, click on EPS file, hit export, and yes, I'm going to replace it. Once again, make sure everything stays at least 300 dpi, transparent background, and you hit OK. from there, guys, you could take it back to VersaWorks. What I can do, I'll do a follow-up video on how to create, to save your cut line in pre-cut line and your cut contour line in Corel Draw X6. Now I'm using the home and student version. I did not want to get an upgrade because I'm not too fond of subscriptions, and right now that's what they're doing, is selling a lot of subscriptions. So once again, what I'm going to do also, I think I might just add each steps in the description below, just in case that I need to clarify myself a little bit more. But I might do a follow-up video on how to create your cut contour line. Alright, so once again, this is Miss Shirley Love Craft. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.